If you want to explore the mountains more, push for peaks, and be on the search for perfect powder, getting into splitboarding is essential. But it can seem like a daunting activity that requires technical know-how, extra gear maintenance, and an elevated awareness of your surroundings. And while these are all things that will come with time, they should not deter you from starting this adventure. If you're new to splitboarding, it can be easy if you have the right guidance, like the information I'm about to give you in this video.
Dude, that was sick! Oh, that was sick!
Now, when you're first getting out on your splitboard, you will always start in uphill mode. This will require removing the bindings, which will be a little bit different between each make and model. For most Sparks, lift the toe piece and slide the binding towards the heel. For most Karakoram bindings, release the heel lock and lift the binding towards the toe. For Union, lift up on the heel lever and rotate the binding 90 degrees. Next, you'll need to put the skins on each ski. These are left and right specific, so make sure you have the right skin for the right ski. Attach the nose clip and stick the skin down, being sure to align the skin with the inside edge of your ski. If this is your first time, you may need to adjust the tail clip to the proper length. This should be at a tension where it stays, but so you can easily remove it. A few notes on skins. If you have a relatively quick drive to where you'll be splitboarding, you can put your skins on at home so you don't have to fuss with them in a cold parking lot. But you won't want to leave your skins on for hours at a time when you're not using them, especially overnight. This can cause the glue from your skin to adhere to the base of your board, and you do not want that. Anytime you're messing with your skins, be sure to not let any debris stick to the glue. This can either be the carpet at home or pine needles and dirt on the mountain, and this will wreck your skins. Skins can be pricey, so making sure to take the best possible care of them will help you out in the long run. Now that your skins are on, let's attach your bindings. An important thing to remember is that the right side of your board will become your left ski for uphilling, and vice versa. With this in mind, make sure your bindings are on the correct side so that the straps ratchet towards the outside of each ski. This will be the same for snowboard mode. For most Sparks and Unions, slide the toe piece into the corresponding holes and click the toe down. For most Karakorams, push the hardware lever forward, set the toe, and lock the lever towards the tail. You'll find that most bindings have an uphill mode on the high back. This allows for an easier and longer stride when you're touring. For most Sparks, flip this piece upward to initiate uphill mode. For most Karakorams, turn this piece horizontal. Lift the forward lean attachment to adjust this on Unions. If you do not have an adjustment like this, change your forward lean to 0. One thing you'll want to keep in mind when you set out on a skin is to wear the proper clothing. You won't want to wear any cotton, which will stay wet after you sweat, causing you to get cold once you stop. Instead, wear a quick drying, water wicking fabric like merino wool. Typically, I wear a t-shirt or long sleeve from Mons Royale, and a mid-layer like this Alpha shirt jacket, or ultralight insulator from Strafe Outerwear, depending on the weather. Additionally, I will wear or carry in my pack a shell jacket, which allows for the most breathability. If you plan on splitboarding outside the boundaries of the resort, having the knowledge of the backcountry and being able to assess avalanche risk is crucial. And while I won't be covering that topic in this video, one of the best tools you can use in the backcountry is onX Maps. Through their desktop or mobile interface, you can easily explore areas, plan routes, and assess potentially dangerous terrain. Having a full game plan is one of the most important things when you're in the backcountry. So whether you build your own route or choose from one of onX's wealth of detailed trip plans, you can start your mission with more confidence for what you might encounter. When planning a route, I rely on the 3D map to determine the safest way to our goal and to be able to plan for difficult sections. I also rely on the slope angle shading tool. This allows you to see the steepness of slope pitches, which helps in finding the best runs, as well as pitches that may be too steep and dangerous to travel under. To equip yourself with these essential tools, use the link in the description for a special Search of Snowboarding discount for an onX plan. Another tool that you will need for splitboarding is a pair of hiking poles. The poles that will be most useful for you are 3-way collapsible poles. These allow you to easily stow them in your pack for the way down. I've linked my favorites in the description below. You can adjust the height of your poles to whatever is comfortable for you, depending on how steep of a pitch you're climbing, but in general, you can adjust it so that your elbow creates a right angle with your arm. As you hike, you will be raising and lowering your heel risers depending on the pitch of your climb. This may be located either on your board or on your binding. For flat sections, you will keep this down. On flat areas, you can cover more ground easily by skating forward. If your heel riser has 2 adjustments, you'll be using the first step for the majority of the time. Use the second adjustment for very steep pitches. When you first start, you may need to bend down to adjust the heel riser. In this case, step 1 foot in front of you, kneel down, and adjust. As you get more comfortable with your gear, you can use your pole to adjust this. While you climb, it is important to have the proper technique. What you will not want to do is step and lift your entire ski. This will tire out your hip flexors very easily, as you will be lifting the weight of your entire ski. Instead, focus on sliding your toe forward. Do this by lifting your heel and sliding forward, using your glute and leg muscles of your stationary leg to propel the moving leg forward. As you stride forward, finish the step by keeping your weight in your heel. If you're climbing and put pressure on your toes, you can easily slip and feel like your skin does not have traction. To counteract this on steep pitches, keep your momentum going as you stride forward with your weight in your heels. This will help give your skin the best traction. Once you've reached the top of your hike, be sure to transition your splitboard into downhill mode before you enjoy the view and a snack. It's best to do this right away before you cool down and your fingers get too cold. To transition, first remove your bindings and set them upside down so you do not get the bases icy and snowy. Next, pull off one skin by undoing the tail clip and ripping the skin off. Have your skin saver handy and place it on the back of your skin while it is still attached. Place the ski in a position where it will not slide down the mountain, and repeat with the other skin and ski. Some people debate on whether to use a skin saver versus sticking your skin together with the glue. I think it's better to use the skin saver as it makes the glue last longer and it's easier to pull your skins apart. One of my favorite things to have with me when I'm splitboarding is a mini scraper. This is helpful when your bindings and edges have iced over after your hike. It's a small thing that saves me a lot of trouble and always stays in my skin bag. Now, clip your board back together by first offsetting the skis, sliding them together, and locking all the necessary clips. Place your bindings back on the board, making sure the straps ratchet toward the tips of your board. Also make sure that you have set the forward lean on your high backs back on. And lastly, collapse your poles and stow them in your pack. Now you're ready to enjoy the view you earned. Before you go out for your first time on snow, do this process a couple times at home in a nice dry, warm area just for practice. It's not too complicated of a process, but it can be frustrating if you're at the top of a mountain in a snowstorm with the wind with cold fingers. The more dialed you are putting your board back together, the better off you'll be when conditions are not ideal. If you're riding down on hard packed or groomed snow, you might find that your splitboard feels different than your solid board. Obviously, with the split down the middle of your board, you'll have less rigidity and different flex points. You will not feel this as much in powder snow, but you can on the resort. Because of this, you will not want to ride your splitboard all the time on the resort with lift access. Additionally, with the extra weight of your splitboard and diminished comfort of your split bindings, you will have a much better time riding your solid board for lift access. Splitboards are amazing, but they are designed more for uphill use. And in fact, the time you spend on your splitboard will consist of you using it 90% of the time going uphill. Hopefully you will feel accomplished with the turns you earned when you're all done with your splitboard mission. After you've gotten home, the only maintenance required for your split setup is to hang your skins up to dry. Keeping your skins in your bag or storing them wet can quickly ruin them. An easy spot to hang them is over a door or in the shower. Whether it's uphill at the resort or in the backcountry, the more you get out, the more acquainted you will be with your splitboard gear. If you need some extra inspiration for getting after it, watch this video where I shredded my first backcountry couloir. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you somewhere on the mountain. Peace!